Welcome to Survivor Speaks Investigates, where truth leads, silence breaks, and every case gets the voice it deserves. I'm Survivor Speaks, and today's investigation starts right now. This video is being shown to you under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, education, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Smash that like button. Let's go.
I see exactly what happened. What? All right. That should be better now. Can you guys hear me? I don't know how I got two of them open over there. Why am I open here in here? Yeah, so I figured out what was going on. This is ludicrous. All right. Okay, so I figured it out. Why it was I don't know how that even happened in the background. But anyway, you should be able to hear me now. I figured it out. I don't understand why it was that one was open. I don't know anyway. So, um for always just 'cause you're just getting here, this is the case about Aliyah Henderson, 28 years old. She's accused of unaliving her two daughters, Amor Wilson, age 10, and Mila Chatman, day 8. I don't know what's going on with these adults, these female parents, and these suitcases. I'm not understanding. But there is some obsession with unaliving people in general, because I'm not going to just say children, and putting them in suitcases. It's really, really blowing my mind. When I first saw this story, I was just like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. So we're gonna watch a video because she actually had a court date. They found the children on March 2nd. She was arrested by March 4th. She was and she went to court on March 6th. And this is a story I told you guys about when we went over the Naziah Harris case. I do have some updated information that I wanted to go over really quick about D4VD's case. And then I had something else that I wanted to talk about too. Ew, and it just slipped my mind. You know, I was always having issues with this. But the D4VD thing is very interesting to because all I'm gonna say is I believe that Neo is going to flip or has flipped on David. We'll go over that after we look at this. But I believe, based on what I'm seeing, that Neo is getting ready to tell everything. It's not only did he come out and I was like, wait a minute, hold on. I started to go back live last night, but I was really tired and I was like, you know what? I'll just do it tomorrow. But nonetheless, I was like, wait a minute, hold on. That's a whole 360, Neo. Wow. So that's how you really feel? Man, listen, from what I saw, I don't know how I feel about Neo and his sudden change of heart and the way he's talking, like really greasy. We're gonna go take a look at it so we can go over it then. But for now, we're going to watch this video, and this is about the two young girls, 8 and 10. And I just don't like to just say young girls. I like to say their names. So this is about Amor 10 and Mila Chatman 8. So there is a very sad component to this case. It's really, really sad, and I'm not sure if they're going to show it here. If they don't, I'm going to have to look it up real quick. But there's really, really an additional sad component to this case. These unalivings were definitely not warranted. So I don't know what her reasoning is. If they don't tell it in this video, I know that they've already found out what her reasonings are. But the two young girls in suitcases, and then A third child was found alive at her home when they went to her home. And what the crazy thing is that she probably could look out her window and see the areas where she dumped the children and buried them. And she buried them in two different places. She half buried one of them. And let's see if they tell the story here. So let's get into this. Hold on, I thought I skipped past for. I don't want to miss nothing. With y'all, I just the other day what was going on. Oh gosh. That's familiar. Oh gosh. All right, so it looks like it's not starting to about here. Don't need nobody to strike my video. All right. Oh my goodness. Well, what? They got music.
Persons charged with the commission under the Constitution.
Okay. That's more than half the video. I thought, yes, that's her.
Advise everyone of their constitutional rights. Yep. It is my duty to advise you of your constitutional rights. These instructions are important. Please listen carefully. Under the constitutions of the United States,
Big Tuna 118, what's up? Hit the like button, please.
In the state of Ohio, persons charged with the commission of an offense are guaranteed certain basic rights. These are the right to know and understand the charges against you, the right to a speedy trial, the right to a trial by jury. You may waive or give up that right and have your case tried by a judge without a jury. At trial, the state of Ohio has the burden to prove your guilt by evidence beyond reasonable doubt. You have the right to meet your accusers face to face and to cross-examine the witnesses for the prosecution. You have the right to summon or subpoena witnesses on your behalf. You do not have to testify against yourself. You have the right to counsel. If you are unable to afford an attorney, the court will appoint a lawyer to defend you. You will be assessed a $25 fee for an appointed attorney. You will not be denied an attorney if you are unable to pay this fee. At the end of your case, you may be ordered to pay the fee if your judge determines you are financially able. If you choose to hire your own attorney, you have a right to a reasonable continuance to hire one. This morning, you are not here for the trial of your case. You are here for your arraignment. An arraignment is your opportunity to be informed of the charges against you, for bond to be set, and for you to enter your plea. You do not have to make any statement about the charges against you, but any statement made may be used against you. As your name is called, please step forward. You will be asked when you received a copy of your indictment or information and whether or not you understand the charges against you. By law, you have 24 hours before you must respond to the indictment or information. If it has been less than 24 hours since you received a copy of your indictment or information, but you wish to be arraigned anyway, you may waive the 24-hour notice and we will complete your arraignment this morning. If your case is going forward by information, I will ask your attorney to place on the record that they discussed with you waiving the presentment of your case to the grand jury. You will be asked if you understand the charges against you, if you knowingly and willingly sign the waiver, if you consent that the charges proceed by information instead of indictment, and if you wish to continue to be arraigned by waiving the 24-hour notice and reading of the information. You will be asked how you plead. A defendant may plead not guilty by reason of insanity, guilty, or with the consent of the court, no contest. If you want to plead guilty and you do not have a lawyer, the court will assign counsel for you so you may have a full understanding of your constitutional rights. Your case will be assigned to a judge whether you plead guilty or not guilty. If you refuse to plead, the court will enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. If you have been charged with a crime of violence and/or any drug offense under Ohio law, you cannot knowingly have, carry, or use a firearm or dangerous weapon until your case is concluded. This is called being under a disability. If you violate this disability, you could be charged with a separate felony offense in addition to the original charges you are being arraigned for today. Even if you have a permit to carry a gun, you are still under a disability until your case is over. In fact, upon indictment, the sheriff who issued the permit shall suspend it until your case is over. If you are over 18 and have not provided a DNA specimen since 2011, you may be required to submit one within 24 hours of your arraignment. If you are placed on a GPS electronic monitoring as a condition of your bond, you will be required to follow all of the rules and conditions of GPS electronic monitoring. Specifically, any unapproved leave, late return, or being in an unauthorized location may result in your warrantless arrest. Failing to properly charge or not charging your unit may result in your warrantless arrest. Tampering with or otherwise damaging your unit may result in your warrantless arrest. You understand that you may be arrested without a warrant if you violate any bond condition or rule of GPS electronic monitoring. You must sign the GPS electronic monitoring rules, which will be explained to you prior to your release as a condition of bond. When GPS electronic monitoring is ordered as a condition of your bond, you will be asked by the judge if you were listening to the instructions regarding GPS electronic monitoring, if you understand that the rules allow you to be arrested without a warrant if you violate the terms of GPS electronic monitoring, and if you understand that you must knowingly, voluntarily, and willingly sign those rules prior to your release. Finally, pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 2937.99, if you do not appear in court as ordered after being released on bond, you may be charged with a felony of the 4th degree. Inmates in the county jail have the right to be present in the courtroom. Is anyone coming over today, Officer Walton?
We're okay here, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll start with the jail. First appearance, case number 710176, Aliyah Henderson.
Before we handle the first appearance on this issue, yesterday, after this court completed its arraignment room docket, I was approached by members of the Public Defender's Office, specifically about appointment to this case. 3 members of the public.
Hold on. Allie's, baby comes first. Is everything okay? I had to stop that. I just saw your message. Is everything okay? Hopefully it is. You can hit me on my text message if you don't want to type it on here. But, I do understand. Big Tuna, what's going on? I see you in the chat. Thank you so much for stopping by. But Allie, I already understand, so no worries at all. But I just want to make sure baby is okay.
Defender's Office, I grabbed a prosecutor to stand in to have this conversation. This case ends in an even number. Pursuant to local rule, the public defender shall be assigned cases that end in a 1, 3, 5, or 7, it is this court's discretion to assign counsel, private counsel, for all other cases. The public defender asked to have this case assigned to its office. Anna Ferelia is representing the state of Ohio on this case. She was not present for that conversation. I will allow you the opportunity to be heard.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state of Ohio would only request that you follow the local rule. This case is like
That's my
any other
girl. I
case in
can hear.
Cuyahoga County.
I know her.
We have had 8 other aggravated murder cases in this county.
That's my girl right there. I recognize her voice before they even saw her. She does such great advocate work for victims.
This week, and I don't believe the public defender's office has approached any other judge or the judge in this arraignment room to have an assignment. This is called poaching, and this is not the first time the public defender has done it. When they think a case is of their liking, they want to jump in. They wanted to do it in Bianca Ellis, and the judge did not allow them to do that. The judge picked 2 independent assigned counsel.
Was that at the arraignment room?
It was at the arraignment room, Your Honor. But they started from the beginning because Ms. Stebbins, in that case, went out to Rocky River and talked to Bianca Ellis. So this is the same thing here. Here they went to juvenile court to approach this defendant for the emergency custody of the child who is still alive and participated in that. So at this point, Your Honor, I just want what's fair, and I want you to follow the local rules. That's what the other...
She's a prosecutor for always. She's a prosecutor, but she does such great advocate work for victims. I mean, she goes to bat. I've seen over a dozen of cases where she was the prosecutor over that case. And she takes all of her cases personal, so you get a good job out of her when it comes to cases like this, and she will advocate for these children, for the children.
Judges do. That's what I want you to do. This isn't a special case. The tragedy is that there are 2 dead children.
Thank you. I will allow the public defender a brief moment to respond.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ashley Stebbins for the Public Defender's Office. We, as a routine, ask the bond commissioner in cases where we have a substantial interest, where we have done extensive work in juvenile court for bind-over cases. We reach out to be appointed in those cases. If we have a substantial interest in a juvenile court emergency custody or custody proceeding, we ask to be represented just for continuity of representation with our office. We do have a youth and parent division where we represent people. It is routine for our office to go down to emergency custody hearings. It is not an aberration for us to be on this case because we are appointed at the emergency custody. So I take issue with that we're trying to poach this case. We are representing Ms. Henderson in the juvenile court proceeding. That is true. I have been in contact with the public defender that's handling that case. We are asking to handle this case because of that, because we were able to get into the jail to speak with her. And the Bianca...
Are you representing her in the custody case?
No, one of our...
So she would have a different lawyer from the public defender's office anyway?
It would be the same team that we are able to communicate, Your Honor. So we have a social work division that is able to work with her. We have the attorneys down there are able to communicate with us easier than outside counsel. So in the Bianca Ellis case, we were actually approached by the court to come out and do the case. We did not just show up at court and ask to do the case. So I just wanted to make sure that the court was aware of that. This is not out of the blue for us to ask for a case that ends in an even number, because we do reach out on a number of occasions, especially with our vertical representation unit, where we represent someone from basically arraignment in juvenile court on. We do come to this court and say, can you please appoint us to make sure that we have the same team moving forward in the adult division?
Okay, thank you. While this may not be a unique situation for you, this is a unique situation for this court. Yesterday I was approached. This is my 12th year on the bench, and I've never once been asked to be assigned by an attorney to be assigned to a case. This case ends in a number 6. It's an even number. Treating it like any other case that I would, I'm going to assign private counsel. Thank you for your time this morning. State of Ohio. I will assign 2 attorneys to represent you. I'm assigning Attorney Nancy Jameson and Kevin Spellacy. Your bond is set at $2 million, cash, surety, or property. Good luck to you.
When I say she don't have
Thank
a
you, Your
single, not a single nothing. She just sitting there looking. And so that is it for that video. So actually they didn't really go over anything. I mean, the video was over, I don't know how long, and they only went that little bit. So I'm going to jump back here and show you guys the night that she was arrested. I just want y'all to remember her hair at the table versus what you're going to see here. Child have no sense, you already know, but it's funny to me because, girl, I want to know what her rationale is, because I thought that, okay, so let's take a look at this video here. So this is the day that she was arrested. Oh, that one is too short. Let me find a different one, because they had some issues with her. For some strange reason, when she went through the metal detector. Oh, well, that's not showing it. Hold on one second. So is this actually the arraign? Okay, so we have another video here where they brought her into the court. We'll watch this one first, since I came across this one first. But I definitely want to go to the video where they brought her to when they arrested her. But she already looks like she's at a funeral here. All right, let's see. Let's move this over here. Child, you're not getting no sympathy here.
Aliyah Henderson, she has 2 counts of aggravated murder.
Good morning.
They deep, ain't they?
All right, so we're going to first hear from, regarding your bond, we're going to first hear from the prosecutor from the state.
Oh, Allie.
Regarding charges against you, charges that you are presumed innocent, on charges that allow for you to have an attorney without cost. And after we hear from the prosecutor, we'll hear from your attorney, okay? Madam Prosecutor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, this is an allegation of murder in 2 separate charges. It's alleged in this matter that the defendant did cause the death of her 2 daughters, 8 and 10 years old. The badly decomposed bodies of the 2 little girls were found in shallow graves in Cleveland in suitcases. Your Honor, the defendant is 28 years old. She scores a 1 and a 1 on the PSA, has no record noted on the PSA.
What up, AOBD?
Your Honor, based on the nature of the allegations and the charges in this case, I would ask for nothing less than a $2 million bond. I would implore the court to consider setting a $2 million bond, cash surety at this point, for the record. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Public Defender.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Henderson is waiving a preliminary hearing on both cases, and I ask for the most reasonable bond you can give her.
Tell me a little more about her that you know.
Judge, she's been in jail 3 days, and as you've seen the public safety assessment, she's looking for a job and she has a place to live, and all of her life has been in this area. Thank you.
Have you seen her PSA?
I have. I just said, yeah.
Let's go over it. So, no history of violence. History, 1-1. No history of violence. No conviction.
Hold on a daggone minute. I have to intervene. Y'all know I got to do commentary anyway because I'm using somebody else's video. Who gives a good god daggone that she's been in jail for three days? According to the man that found the first suitcase with her daughter in it, where she, like I said, she could have looked out of her window and saw the dirt mounds. He had passed that mound for 5 days, but each day he went and worked his dog. The dog kept going for that same spot. So on the day that he decided to stop, because he's like, what are you barking at over here? He realized that he saw something hanging up because it was snowing. And so it snowed and the body was under the mound was like kind of under the snow. But once the snow melted, the suitcase was like partially showing up out of where she buried the child at. And so he went over there to see, and he unzipped it and he saw a head. And then, he freaked out and he called the cops. So he said he had walked past that suitcase for about 5 days, like by that mound for this was the 5th day that he's calling. So she's trying to make a point that hold on a minute, that this was in jail for 3 days. And from what we know, your child was in the ground for about, she's in jail for 3 days. Your kid was in the ground, from what we know, for 5 days. So you shouldn't step outside the jail again. That's just one child. And then they realized that there was another mound of dirt that looked like it was disturbed. And then they found the other child. They looked and they found the other child. I'm pretty sure she was probably looking out her window and seeing all the commotion now at this time. She didn't bother to bring her ass outside, did she? So nobody don't care nothing about that. I'm glad we already know she's not going anywhere. But I just need to say that. Because she looking for a job. That she gonna have a chance to have a job. And yep, right where she at. Working for free. Because they don't pay you till you get to state court. When you're in the county, you don't get paid. You only get paid when you go to the state. She can find a job so that she's paying for that 3 hots in the cot that she's sleeping on. Nobody care about that. What's up, AOBD? Thank you for stopping in. So let's go. She looking for a job.
No charges. Given the nature of the allegations, as well as my concern for the safety of the public, we will deal, the bond will be $2 million. Ms. Henderson, work with your attorney, go to your hearings, and fight for your innocence, okay? Good luck, you take care.
Get out of here.
Thank you, Your Honor.
$2 million it's $1 million
Per page.
each. I'm sorry, thanks for the clarification. It's $1 million each. All right.
No emotion.
Any questions, Madam Public Defender?
No, thank you.
No emotion. And I don't give a damn about her because her children, she gonna have a job. We don't even care what it's for at this point. Her children, it's a sad thing. Like I said, CPS is really geared more toward women. So what I did learn in this case that one of her daughter's fathers had been looking for her. She had been moving around from place to place. Wouldn't let him see the child. He called CPS, very active in this case, according to what he said. He called CPS. They really didn't give him any help. He was looking for his daughter. And now you know, he found his daughter is found in a grave in the buried in the ground. So yeah, I want to find a video of her going into this courthouse. I mean, when they arrested her, but that one is so. What is TV-19 talking about? That's not it. So maybe I'll just look at this one just for the sake of you saying, hold on a minute. She looking for a damn job. She gonna get one for free. She gonna get one soon. Don't worry. She may not be able to get one where she can move off of the unit, but she gonna get a job. I can't even believe that she said that. I care about her. She looking for a job. She already got a place to stay. She got another one. They be blowing my mind with this bull crap. Hold on, y'all. I'm looking at. Ain't this sad? Ernie Anastas passed away. Sad situation. Hold on, I'm trying to see if this video is, because y'all have to see her. This child walking into this. She looks totally different. Oh, we just looked at that. Fight for her innocence. Yeah, okay. All right, so I guess we're just gonna watch this 20-second clip. Oh, come on, before I bring it over. All right. On my damn nerve. Is she looking for a job? Can't. I can't. If it wasn't for no sense, I wouldn't have. The little bit of sense that I have listening to some of the stuff that these defense attorneys, I mean, she has a right to a defense. Let me go on and say that, because people be any little thing. She does have a right. She's innocent until proven guilty and blah blah blah. We know. Anyhow, how many do I have? That's not it. Is that it? Yeah. So here she is. Let me just get this over here and let's hit play.
Tonight, you're looking at new video of Aliyah Henderson being booked into the Cuyahoga County Jail for allegedly murdering her daughters, 10-year-old Amor Wilson and 8-year-old Mila Chatman.
Look at it, y'all. Just look at her. The only reason why we know that she's the same person because her face has not changed. Yeah, it is true, but still, even when men do know their rights, a lot of times the court really does side with the woman. But according to what I'm gonna see if I can find the interview that he did. According to him, she was not letting him see the child. She kept moving. He was fighting. Yeah, Ernie Nass is 80 years old. But yeah, let's this video is very short. So I just wanted y'all to see what she looked like when they brought her in. And they definitely make you take that weave out now in the jail system.
And burying them in suitcases. Their bodies were found last week in Cleveland's Collinwood neighborhood. That case is now being presented to a grand jury.
Wait a minute, is this a new video? Oh, that's the video we already watched. I thought I took it off the screen, y'all. That's another video. Oh, they make them take off the wigs. Even if you got weave, they make you take the weave out now. It is a safety thing for everybody, included. It didn't just start happening when I was in corrections. They were doing it because a lot of times, like inmates come off the street with lice and everything like that. So they just want to make sure that they try to stop the spread of anything that you're bringing in off of the streets. Any way that they can, and then you don't know what they have in the wig. That video didn't show it, but if you saw she went to the metal detector and she backed up, that's because they said she went through the metal detector 3 times and the metal detector kept going off. So as a precaution, yeah, they do have them remove the hair, and if you have weave, you got to cut it out. You got extensions. Sometimes I still see people have braids in their hair extensions, and they let them keep it in. Where I work, you have to take the braids out. Sorry. I don't know what's jumping around in there. I had to pour a whole thing of bleach on the girl one time. Yes, it happens. She has stuff jumping out of everywhere. I was like, She ain't want to get in the shower. We got her together though. So anyway, that is the case. Let me see if I can find the interview that the father of the child did, because he did do an interview, and I did hear and then we're gonna get over there to this D4VD stuff, because woo, father child. Let's see what they come up with. Okay, so yeah, here it is. His name is Deshaun Chatman. He's the father of Mila Chatman, the 8-year-old. This is so sad. Let's see. A lot of times you don't have men that step up for their children, but when you do, like, what are y'all doing? Like, y'all know how I feel. CPS needs, they need to just, redo CPS. They need an overhaul. And I get it. Hold on. All right, so let's see. The father is supposed to be coming on here. Make sure. All right.
Year-old female is in custody and charges are pending toward this ghastly case of two young girls buried in suitcases in Cleveland near Ginn Academy. The entire community, all of Northeast Ohio, is still in shock about this heinous crime. The incident was reported to police initially Monday night at 6 p.m. Body camera footage obtained by the Fox 8i team shows the moments officers moved in to investigate the discovery of two bodies partially buried in suitcases. Fast forward to last night. The 28-year-old woman was detained after detectives established probable cause to execute a search warrant at a residence along the 700 block of East 162nd Street, just hundreds of feet away from where the bodies were buried. The Cleveland Division of Police say intelligence-led policing strategies, technology, and experienced investigative skills led detectives toward the 28-year-old's home, where substantial evidence was recovered. Interviews were conducted, and she was later arrested. Formal charges are expected later today. Police Chief Annie Todd issued a statement after the arrest, reading in part, quote, "These were two young lives with their entire futures ahead of them. Our detectives worked tirelessly and with great care to identify those responsible," end quote. The medical examiner has conducted autopsies on both girls, and earlier they had determined that they are half-siblings through DNA analysis, but their identities have not yet been confirmed, and we are waiting until they are confirmed to release anything. And as I said before, the home in question, police say that there was a child, another child in there that was in good health and then taken into custody of the Department of Children and Family Services. So even more concerning that there was another child in this picture. We will be following all the details moving forward as those charges are pending. Joe and Stephanie, we know we're going to hear more later today.
Yeah, so many unanswered questions, and we know that you are just learning a lot of information all at once. But are they saying that there were ever any reports of these girls being missing? Any family members report that at all?
No, Stephanie, there were no reports of any children that were missing, which is a red flag, of course, that perhaps maybe someone very close to them could be connected to this crime. We're still waiting on those formal charges, but there's a lot of speculation online, and we just want to play it safe at this stage.
Sure.
Yeah, shocking crime, and we'll hear a lot more from officials later today. Tino Bovenzi live in Cleveland.
Healthcare.
All right, so
It's so
Outdated?
time for change.
At Oak Street Health, we're changing what it means to get older by focusing on keeping you.
Hold on, because it said the father was in that. Let me go find a different video. Let me see. All right, let's see. This is not a video. This is just a still of him holding the phone, because he did do a little he did all right, so they don't have the video, they just have the still on there. Let me see, because he did speak on the video. He didn't show his face, but he did speak with one of these news stations. It's not coming up now. So the father, I'm going to just read this article. The father of one of the two girls found deceased inside a set of suitcases left in an Ohio park has broken his silence after the girl's mother was arrested and charged with their unaliving. I just feel useless, the grieving father told Fox 8 News. I couldn't save my daughter. The man spoke to the station on condition of anonymity after he was approached by news crews at the Cleveland Park where he'd going to remember his late daughter. He also spoke to WOIO, who identified him as Deshaun Chapman. If he wanted to remain anonymous, I believe, right? Why would you publish his name? Okay. So on Monday, March 2nd, a man walking his dog. So yeah, this gets into the what happened. So I'm going to just read this article. So a man walking his dog stumbled upon one of the suitcases, opened it, and saw a human head. A second suitcase was located nearby in the same park. So they're calling it Ohio dog walker. I'll find suitcase in Cleveland Park containing bodies of two girls. Authorities have identified the girls as Mila Chatman, 8, and Amor Wilson, who was 10. Their mother, Aliyah Henderson, was arrested late Wednesday. Henderson, 28, was charged with 2 counts of aggravated murder for her daughter's unalivings. U.S. Weekly confirmed with investigators. Mila and Amor were half siblings, police said. Mila's father told Fox 8 he hadn't been allowed to see his daughter in 4 years, saying he felt iced out as a father. He said he repeatedly tried to gain custody of the girl to no avail. He also said that Amor's father tried being in her life but was similarly denied visitation. So she denied both fathers the opportunity to see their children, and the father saying that he wanted custody of the child. So when it was something so simple, just give me her. You're feeling stressed, give me her. Mila's father told Fox 8, I've been trying to get her for 6 years. You've been ducking me. You told me I was too family oriented. I got to just, come on now. That's what she said. What in the whole entire... She didn't want to give it to the child because she said that he was too family oriented. My pressure. Are you stupid? Okay, let's move on because we got some other things to get to too. So he said, that's why you ain't giving my daughter, the typo there, I guess. Been trying. Then talked to CPS on numerous occasions, he said. He claimed that Child Protective Services wouldn't remove the girls from their mother's custody. I don't know how long she's been gone, how long she's been unalive or deceased. I don't know how long she's been missing, but it could have been prevented, the angry dad added. These were 2 young lives with their entire futures ahead of them. Cleveland Division of Police Chief Dorothy Todd said in a statement to the media, our detectives worked tirelessly and with great care to identify those responsible. Investigations of this nation require patience, precision, and discretion. Todd continued. Y'all give me a minute. My daughter's at the door. She told me that she was... Give me 1 minute. Turn the bottom one up and close the door. You turn the bottom lock to lock. You just have to lock the top when you get outside. I'm back. I'm sorry about that. So where were we? So they say our detectives work tirelessly and with great care to identify those responsible. Investigations of this nature require patience, precision, and discretion. Todd continued. Unlike what is often portrayed on television, every detail cannot be shared publicly. Certain information must remain confidential to protect the integrity of the investigation and ensure justice for these victims. That careful and methodical work allowed for our detectives to develop the evidence needed to make quick identification of a person of interest, ultimately resulting in an arrest. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. So, Henderson was arrested at her home, which is not far from the park where she allegedly dumped her daughters. A third child who was living with Henderson is now a ward of the state. The child was said to be healthy. A cause of unaliving for Mila and Amor is still pending, and their investigation into the red rooms remain ongoing. So if you suspect child abuse, please call the Child Help National Child Abuse Hotline at 1-800-4-A-CHILD or 1-800-422-4453 or visit childhelp.org. I'm going to put that in the description. All calls are toll free and confidential, and the hotline is available 24 hours, 7 days a week in more than 170 languages. So that is, yes, yes, Allie. CPS drops the ball once again. For always says, what the F does that mean? What, that he was family? Are you talking about the part that he was family oriented? Sometimes I just, sometimes it's just, pride. It doesn't appear that she wanted the men because she was running from them, right? So what is the reason? And especially if he is to say, if he's saying that she said that she was stressed before he lost contact, she had to communicate that to him. So you said y'all call it ACS in New York City. They drop the ball on cases. It all the same thing that should be taken seriously. In cases that should be dropped, they drag it on for years, damaging kids emotionally, or they leave them with unfit parents until something happens to the child. And then you want to take them into custody, and then you want to talk to the father. And in a lot of these cases, the father wants the child. It's just that, the parent, the other parent is like, and it goes both ways. So, let me say that. But when there's a mother involved that is willing to fight or go to the next level, even if they're mistreating the child, but they're going to go show up to every court case, pretending like, they want the child or whatever. A lot of times then the judges in the state, they automatically side with the mother. And that's not the case. If the other parent is coming to you telling you, I think I need to take my child because the child, he or she is being abused or neglected or whatever, CPS should look into that. But they don't, and they drop the ball like this all of the time, and it's sad that children have to go through this. Let's so we'll be following that case. I'll be looking into I'll be looking to see if they have any updates on this case. But she has like just one resting bitch face just in all of her photos. Even when they brought her in the jail, she has one resting bitch face. So we are going over to Twitter, X if you will, to the infamous Stephen Fisher. You know, he's our go-to guy as it relates to David in the D4BD case. He's very hands-on with this case, and you know, he's pretty pissed off with the way things are being handled, but he let me see, we went over that. We did see just last week. All right, so we're going to start here because Steve, there was a I think it was some type of movie came out, and did he put if he didn't, we're gonna have to pull this up and watch it. Oh yeah, so he does have a full length video here. I'm wondering how long it is, and should I go to a different live with this? Because he has hold on, let me see how long this video. Oh, it's 12 minutes. All right, so it's 12 minutes long, so I'm just going to keep it here. So this says, let me bring it over. It's a Hollywood mystery. A 14-year-old girl named Celeste was found dismembered in a Tesla owned by rising music artist D4BD. I'm just so glad they didn't say hip-hop artist, because, you know, I'm sick of them. CNN investigates the months-long connection between the two. Before I bring over that movie, though, let me just go up here and bring up what Steve put up here about Neo. And I missed it because I went to his page yesterday and it was definitely gone. It must have been on his story. So let me bring this over before we watch that other video. Steve don't give a good God, you know what? Steve said, F them all. I'm tired. All right. So this is what was on Neo the Asian's story Steve got. But let's see what he says before we read the post. He says, so here's the thing, Neo. If you have to tell my side of things, and he put that in quotes, that means you were involved in the things. You just want everyone to believe you did less of the things. People who weren't involved don't have a my side of things. And how tone deaf are you exactly? Your Weep For Me post has 11 references to you and not a single mention of hashtag Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who is deceased. She's deceased because of the things, and he keeps putting things in quotes, you're trying to explain away. Nobody cares about your feelings, Neo. This is about Celeste and justice in her name. Hashtag Neo the Asian, hashtag D4VD. Y'all know that Steve wants all of the smoke. He was even saying that Neo the Asian said that he was going to be suing. He said, please sue me. Please. I beg of you to sue me. But anyway, so this is what he is referring to right here. Neo wrote, I think the worst part is that I've told so many people that I trust and I thought knew me. And I think this is Steve circling all of the times that he's talking about himself. So I thought, and I thought knew me as a person, my side of things, all for that to be thrown out the effing window as soon as I get arrested. And they slapped that he called him a wee head. Y'all know what the word is, start with a D. Now he's referring to him. Y'all see what I'm saying? I think he flipped. He's calling David a wee head. So he said, as they slapped that wee head next to mine, and for the record, the thing I was arrested for, I wasn't even charged. Also, that is why Stephen kept putting the thing in there, because he put that in this post. He said they never filed it, and my warrant was retracted because there is more to the story than what's on the news. So I was in here last night like, what is going on? What happened? What is going on? So just from the one sentence is where I got he's flipping. I get arrested and they slap that wee head's name next to mine. He wasn't when y'all was laying there in these awkward positions and on the boat like y'all was on the, what is that movie? When they on the boat, well, in the picture where they on the boat and David standing behind like he hugging him. And remember the picture on the floor where he's laying one way and David is laying the other way with his hands underneath his waist, and he has on a shirt that says, "You're gay, I'm in." And all of the awkward, uneasy pictures that we had to watch while it was online. Meanwhile, I did take a picture of, so Neo is back on social media, probably not as not the way he was before, but he put up a picture, and I don't even think that he realizes it, because in the back of the picture you see David, and that is Celeste. The girl sitting on the couch is the other Celeste, the one that David had wearing the same glasses like Celeste, but her hair is straight. I don't even think that Neo realizes that in this picture, they're in the back of this picture. Did he miss this? Hold on, let me show y'all. Because our daggone sure was like, oh, wait a minute. Neo didn't see that. He didn't see that. He missed that. You done took all the pictures down, Neo, but you forgot one. Hold on, let me drop this over here real quick. You forgot one, Neo. And I'm wondering what date this was taken. All right. You see that? Y'all see David? You see David in the back? You see Celeste? That's Celeste. So David has on a do-rag. That is Celeste. The girl that's sitting next to David, that is the other Celeste. The one that they try to make, where she put ponytails in her hair and all this other stuff to make herself, I don't know, to make it seem like David was dating this Celeste that's 23. She was 23. Celeste was either 13 or 14 in this picture. And so you see her with the glasses on, and you can see from here her hair is bone straight. That is because they've already said that, you know, she was around when Celeste was alive. They called her Cece and Celeste when they were there together because they have the same name. But Neo has erased all of the picture or anything connected to David off of his social media platform. However, I guess he didn't realize that David is clearly in the back of this picture in the background, and so is Celeste. Celeste Rivas Hernandez. That is her. David, Neo, you got to do better. You got to come better than that. You know, some of us be going down the rabbit hole. We looking for everything that's going on. All the things of the things, sir. You didn't do such a good job with that one. But I digress. So let's bring over this little short video here. Hold on. So All right. Hopefully they don't. So this is on CNN. Oh, what? They talking about subscribe for $6.99. They want you to pay for the movie. Yeah, listen, I ain't paying for this movie. Let's see if Verizon will let me through. Yeah, hold on. We might have to go watch the short version. I don't even know what that might be my, hold on, y'all. I might be able to, what the, I don't know what is my what is my password? I think I could get it if, hold on. If not, we're going to just go watch Steve's little part until I figure it out. I may have to make another movie because my password should be. I don't know what it is then. I don't have no clue. I don't know. I don't have a clue because I don't have no clue what my password is. I have. All right. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure it out. I don't want to do it again. It logs me out of my phone. I'm going to have to see that later. So I'm going to go back to Steve's page. We're going to watch the short form until I figure it out. We'll watch the whole thing once I figure it out. All right. So he actually just put up like 20... I guess seconds of it. I want to see the whole thing though. I have to figure out my password is. So I ain't paying them $6.99. Not right now. I ain't. Yeah, follow me on Ticket to Talk. Let me, before I bring that over. Yeah, I forgot. Listen, if you wanted to support the show, you can subscribe to the channel for free. You can join a membership. Yeah, you can join a membership. You can donate. The tags are below. The mods have been jumped for them in the chat. Or you can simply like the video for free. Hype the video up once it's off for free. Those are free ways that you can support the show. All of the donations get put back into the platform. As you guys can see, I've been making a lot of different changes. And, whenever someone donates, that definitely is helpful. So anyway, if you are here, please hit the like button. It does not tell me who likes the video. You can actually hit the thumbs down as long as you interact with the video. Drop a comment, though. I wish you would do that because YouTube has updated their policies, and it definitely helps push the video out into the algorithm. Thank you so much. And let's bring this up here. Okay, so let's bring this over here. So this is something that Steve is that on that thing. I'm gonna see if I can I should be able to find my But anyway, let's go. Let's see what they're talking about.
For months, most likely months.
Hold on. Is it from the beginning?
For months.
Hold on. All right, let's go.
She, for months, most likely months, was stuffed in that Tesla and just left there. I'm a private investigator that exclusively does missing persons cases.
Steve Fisher was hired to unearth evidence in the case, which starts here, a search warrant on the Tesla. The registered owner, David Anthony Burke.
She, for
all right,
months,
and so that's all they
likely
put up. Now I'm upset. Am I gonna go ahead and just pay this $6.99? Yeah, that looks like it's interesting, y'all. So that I ran across that. I was on Steve's page and ran into that, and I was like, wow, that's interesting. CNN know they be getting on my daggone nerve. I don't have no daggone account with y'all. Cause why are we paying the news channel? They get on my nerve. Hold on a minute. Let me see something. Oh, I don't even. This is all crazy to me. Hold on. One second, let me just see. Oh, they're getting on my nerve. Getting right on my nerve. If I could find it. No. All right. Oh, let's see. Don't nobody care about all that. Um. Oh man, y'all. I'm gonna have to just edit it afterwards, but CNN knew exactly what they was doing. Hold on, which, oh, there it is. Hold on, y'all. What the heck? All right. Let's take a look at the weirdo. Y'all thank me later. Thank me later. I had to pay for this, and I'm gonna have to, they're gonna copyright this video. I'll just edit his music out.
A rising star.
It's crazy to me, bro. Yeah, I love my fans so much.
A young girl missing.
All this taken from her family.
Found dead and dismembered in a towed Tesla.
She, for months, was stuffed in that Tesla and just left there.
How did 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez go from a small-town middle schooler to Hollywood runaway and eventually the trunk of a celebrity's car?
Who failed Celeste?
Multiple people.
Oh,
it took multiple people.
Violent imagery in David's own music videos has added to the online fascination with this story.
I don't think art itself should ever be the indictment, but it can certainly, lead us to start questioning it.
CNN's own investigation reveals the images that link David and Celeste, the online community that grew suspicious, and the email that shows someone tried to warn that this underage girl was far from home.
It just makes me wonder,
I know if they say hip hop, he better correct it. He's into music. That's Phantom. He does a whole lot of music channel reactions. He has a lot of things going on. He made a name for himself in the music business and stuff like that. But he is a YouTuber. He has a pretty big following. He's on all social media platforms, so he definitely knows about music genres and stuff out like that. So shout out to him, though.
Why is nobody stepping in and saying anything? It's just crazy to me. It's just crazy to me.
The crime may be set in Hollywood, but I'm heading to the place at the center of the heartbreak, Lake Elsinore, California. It's 75 miles from Los Angeles, and the place Celeste called home. Outside her family's home, a memorial keeps the memory of Celeste Rivas Hernandez alive. She was a middle schooler, described as a beloved daughter, sister, cousin, and friend. She loved Hello Kitty and Takis and soda from the corner store.
I feel like I know her forever, for I'm 11 years here.
Ili Nadaf runs a bodega near the family home.
She would come in here how often?
Very much like all kids, every day. They bus stop here and pick them up.
Is it heartbreaking thinking about this little girl?
Hell yeah. Especially I know her. Even if I don't know her, I'm be hurt, but when you know the person, it's hurt more. You don't know the future where it's going with this girl. You don't know what her dream.
Dreams that ended in a place where they're usually born, left decomposing in the trunk of a celebrity's Tesla, parked on the side of the road as the living world passed by.
She, for months, most likely months, was stuffed in that Tesla and just left there. I'm a private investigator that exclusively does missing persons cases.
Steve Fisher was hired to unearth evidence in the case, which starts here, a search warrant on the Tesla. The registered owner, David Anthony Burke. This is Burke, better known to millions of fans as the singer David. He spells his name D4VD, has hundreds of millions of views on YouTube, and was the most Googled person of 2025. What led up to the deadly collision of two worlds? Police have said very little about this case from the beginning. Then a judge sealed the medical examiner's report, and a grand jury is underway. Prosecutors in court records describe David Burke as a target who, quote, may be involved in having committed one count of murder. David's lawyer did not want to speak with CNN due to the grand jury investigation.
Here's what we got. The Tesla is owned by him. We have photograph evidence that she was with him over a long period of time.
We find that evidence in the hidden corners of the internet.
It's kind of like when you pull up a floorboard and there's like a termite infestation down there.
Anthony Fantano is one of YouTube's leading music critics. For him, this isn't just about music. It's about celebrity and fans in the social media age.
Look, I was a young teenage music fan at some point in my life too, but I didn't have like a direct connection to message some of my favorite artists. Social media just allows you to have a super direct connection to that instantaneously.
We dug through that social media and found this 2022 message from David. Celeste in here, then from the screen name Celeste, hi David, bark.
You're sort of like expressing kind of like an attraction or an interest, like you're barking at them as a means of like grabbing their attention.
Then Celeste, 13 years old at the time, appears, sitting next to David on his Twitch stream. A person close to Celeste tells us with certainty that this is her.
David himself, in a lot of respects, he was still a kid. You know, think of yourself when you were 18. You know, did you have the, you know, mind and the responsibility and the wherewithal to be kind of like managing maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars and living in a mansion in the hills and have all of these like random adults around you who are pretty much just there to find out how to make money off of you?
Before he was a star, David was a teenage vlogger in Houston. His Fortnite gaming videos went viral.
I just wanted to be in front of a camera with a controller and just have fun. That's all I wanted to do.
But when he used popular music in his videos, record companies cracked down, forcing David to improvise.
I talked to my mom. She was like, make your own music, honey. You can do it. Make your own. And I was like, you know what? That could be a thing. So I looked up how to make music on iPhone.
His breakout hit, Romantic Homicide, went viral. Then hit the Billboard charts. David was on the cusp of global fame. Celeste just beginning her troubled trail as a runaway. But she didn't seem to be hiding. Remember, there's that Twitch stream. It's dated January 2024, about a month before Celeste is first reported missing. She's 13 here, and it's after 3 a.m. People on the stream even mention her name. David and Celeste island trip, public statement from David's girl.
Delete everything. Delete everything.
February 15th, the next month, Celeste is reported missing for the first time. Days later, a person close to Celeste sends this email shared with CNN. It's sent to david@mogul.vision. Mogul Vision is David's management company. There's been talk that the artist David possibly has something to do with the disappearance of 13-year-old Celeste Rivas. If that statement holds any merit, please do the right thing and take her home.
She arrived back home. She came back home.
After that email was sent,
Yeah.
the person who shared that email with us didn't want us to say who they were, fearing for their safety. Lake Elsinore sits 75 miles from Hollywood, and we've learned David made that drive. We uncovered this photo, taken in early 2024 in Lake Elsinore. That's David. We were able to track the exact location of this photo to this parking lot here in Lake Elsinore. It's about a third of a mile from Celeste's home. And looking at the construction in the background of this photo, we're able to determine that this photo was taken sometime between January and March of 2024. What's so wild about David being here?
I don't know, because it's like a small town. You're not really like celebrities just coming over here chilling, you know?
Ethan Maldonado posted the photos. He says he got them from a classmate. One photo shows David with other young people, but CNN cannot verify why this meeting happened. Here's why it matters. The photos were taken sometime in the months of Celeste being reported missing. The last time was on April 5th, 2024. But is she really missing? This photo from May 2024 shows Celeste among family. CNN confirmed the time and place using geolocation to a relative's graduation.
She is missing.
Absolutely. She's listed as a missing person. And when she's having contact with the family, which first thing that you're supposed to do is call the detective or call 911 and say, listen, she's here.
We knocked on door after door in Lake Elsinore trying to get an explanation from her family and friends. No one, including Celeste's family, talked to us on camera. Celeste returns to Hollywood. On June 27th, 2024, David performs at a sold-out show at the Fonda Theater. Look at this photo from that night. Zoom in. That's
There goes
Celeste
Mama.
backstage.
Mhm.
David's fandom seems to know something about this missing girl. When David asks his followers about future song releases, one fan says, "Drop the one with the missing girl, Celeste Rivas Hernandez."
It's just crazy the context and information that people within this community seem to have. Not only her full entire government name, but the fact that she's missing too.
David was living in this rental home a few blocks from where the Tesla was parked when it was towed. The rental home was leased by David's management company, Mogul Vision. Executives there did not reply to our repeated attempts to talk to them. More than a year after Celeste was reported missing for the last time, neighbors in the ritzy Hollywood Hills are getting suspicious about a parked Tesla.
It was something that you noticed, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, it might be somebody who's staying with some friends or something like that.
It looked like the car had been beaten up in some fashion.
Oh yeah,
Describe it to me.
So there was a big dent in the back and in the front. It looked like it'd been hit multiple times.
After David's Tesla was towed, LAPD detectives found Celeste's body, dismembered and stuffed into 2 different bags. She would have turned 15 the day before. David's online fandom erupts, partly because of something in his own music videos. Violence. Romantic Homicide, released in 2022, includes a dead girl. And then, in One More Dance, David puts his own body in a trunk.
I am like the furthest thing from a conspiracy theorist. I really truly just go off evidence and follow the evidence. I mean, it is bizarre.
The video showed David's alter ego born in anime. He explained it in a podcast interview.
A big part of that manga was an evil version of me.
Listen to
and
this.
He would commit the
This is
crimes
what I've
that
been
I would
talking
have
about.
to solve as the detective, solving murders that I'm committing myself.
Let's be very clear, though, because we are talking about art. There's no proof that he did this simply because he produced this art.
People should be allowed to freely live out whatever kind of fantasies they want in the art that they create. But with that being said, in this instance, I think at the very least it should sort of like, cause us to call into question the series of events and start to at least look into it further.
After LAPD found Celeste's body in the trunk of the Tesla, investigators searched David's Hollywood Hills rental. Days later, Fisher, the private eye hired by the homeowner, recovered an SD card. On it, pictures taken in the final year of Celeste's life. That's Celeste wearing a hoodie, as she had in that Twitch video.
What do you see when you look at this picture?
There's someone who should just be in school, doing their homework, hanging out with their friends. As more of this comes together, we're really gonna see like who dropped the ball.
She was 14 years old and stuffed in that trunk. I just don't know how anybody, even if you weren't involved, if you had any knowledge that she was in that car, how you could live with yourself and not report it.
So there you have it, y'all. That was pretty good. I think that we've reported on most of that, but when I saw that yesterday, I was just like, wow. Once I go live, I have to talk about that. So I did it here, but I am going to edit and make a standalone video. Hopefully CNN doesn't strike my video when I remake it. I know that I'm going to have the David's music removed out of the video, but that's pretty interesting to see. So I was calling him his name is Fantano. He's really into music. And he's here on. He's on YouTube. So that is where, they are with this. And if you watch this video, just tell me what do you think of um Neo's Instagram story that he put up and calling David a wee head. Seems to me like he said that he has a story. So when he tells his side of things, that doesn't sound like he's pleading the fifth to me. It sounds like he has a side and he wants to tell it. So hopefully, because he is taking this stance now, hopefully they will be able to protect him if he's going to say what's wrong. But I'm with Steve. If you took part in the thing, because you sure enough got on that bus, the tour bus, when it came, Steve has not made publicly who was driving the car, even though he knows. So we all know that he knows. He said he knows. He didn't want to, jeopardize the investigation, so he hadn't told her. But if he had said if they didn't release the person's name by a certain time, he was going to go ahead and release it himself. But he hasn't so far. I guess he's trying to make sure that the integrity of the case is still intact. He has not released that information to us yet, so we don't know. But what we do know is that he did say, and people have to listen and read in between the lines. What we do know, and he did say that he saw the person that parked that car where it was towed from and got on the tour bus with David. So I can tell you that it was David on the tour bus, Neo was on the tour bus, and it's another girl. I don't know why her name is escaping me right now. She was on the tour bus. She's actually the young lady that was on Twitter laughing about somebody admitting to unaliving somebody. And I mean, she was laughing and it was funny, but it's not going to be funny when they come knocking at your door, because we do know that what you put on the internet is forever out there in the internet, or in the ethers, regards to whether or not you delete or not. It's still out there in the ethers. So I'm not sure if she is the young lady. I would believe that she is, that they wanted to come and testify in the grand jury, and she was refusing. But once Neo was arrested and was forced to go in front of the grand jury, everybody just said, oh, okay, it was Neo and not her. Somebody was in the car with him when he drove to that remote area and was there for hours. That still has not been released yet, and they were saying that was a female. So, we sit and we wait. I do believe that we are going to have some additional movement in this case soon. From what I know, they are still, the grand jury is still convening. We do know that they subpoenaed the mother, the father, and the brother, and they actually tried to they filed something in court to they wanted to not have to come and testify, and they wasn't playing with them. They wasn't having it. They went and got them. Now, the video that we just watched, if you look, she focused on the brother, but before that camera panned to the brother in Celeste, because that was Celeste standing next to the brother backstage, that was the camera pinned by his mother and his little sister. And actually, I believe the little sister was out on stage, because he sometimes would bring his little sister out on stage and sing, and she was singing with him. And so the camera, I noticed, I know what his mother looks like. The camera panned by him and his mother and his little sister. I didn't see his father, but I'm sure he's around. They traveled with David often. I believe that the tour that he was on, I don't think that they were with him on that tour, and that probably would have been a first. I know the SZA is very upset because SZA brought him along on tour for her. I do know some of the artists that he has done collaborations with, they have swiftly disconnected themselves from him and erased any content that they had of him on their social medias. So here we have it. That's the update 4D4VD. Things are getting heated in this case, and Steve Fisher seems to not be letting this go. He is very upset that they haven't made an arrest yet in this case. So okay, so y'all, thank y'all for rocking out with me. I'm gonna go ahead, like I said, and I'm going to make a standalone video with that video of CNN, and hopefully they don't block it or whatever. So if you don't see it there, that means they blocked it. Hope they don't give me a copyright strike, but it's probably going to be without David's music, because I know for sure that they are blocking that either way. So I'm going to end the show like I normally end it, by bringing awareness that men get breast cancer too. Because of the stigma surrounding the word breast, we have changed the word to peck and/or chest cancer here on the Survivor Speaks channel. I'm going to continue to bring awareness that men get breast cancer too. And to all of my ladies, please make sure you're getting your mammograms, filling on your boobies to make sure that you are all right. All right. Don't forget that like button, that subscribe, and then turn on the notification bell so you know when I go live or drop a premiere. So don't you dare let anyone come into your house and disturb the peace that passes all understanding. I'm Survivor Speaks. I'll see you guys in the next video, or in the video premiere. I'll be down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Peace. If you have made it to the end of the video, you are the real MVP. So don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.